الثاني على حب الحسن والحسين.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
سورة الفلق. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل أعوذ برب الفلق من شر ما خلق ومن شر غاسق إذا وقب ومن شر النفاثات في العقد ومن شر حاسد إذا حسد. صدق الله العلي العظيم. أفلح من صلى على محمد وآل محمد. الثاني على حب الحسن والحسين. الثالثة بأعلى الأصوات. حديث الكساء لقضاء الحوائج وشفاء المرضى ولكشف الغموم والهموم وتعجيل فرج مولانا صاحب العصر والزمان. عن جابر بن عبد الله الأنصاري عن فاطمة الزهراء عليها السلام بنت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله قال: سمعت فاطمة إنها قالت: دخل علي أبي رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله في بعض الأيام فقال: السلام عليك يا فاطمة. فقلت: وعليك السلام. فقال: إني أجد في بدني ضعفا. فقلت له: أعيذك بالله يا أبتاه من الضعف. فقال: يا فاطمة أتيني بالكساء اليماني فغطيني به. فأتيته بالكساء اليماني فغطيته به وصرت أنظر إليه وإذا وجهه يتلألأ وكأنه البدر في ليلة تمامه وكماله. فما كانت إلا ساعة وإذا بولدي الحسن قد أقبل وقال: السلام عليك يا أمّا. فقلت: وعليك السلام يا قرة عيني وثمرة فؤادي. فقال: يا أمّا إني يشم عندك رائحة طيبة كأنها رائحة جدي رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله. فقلت: نعم يا ولدي، إن جدك تحت الكساء. فأقبل الحسن نحو الكساء وقال: السلام عليك يا جدا يا رسول الله، أتأذن لي أن أدخل معك تحت الكساء؟ فقال: وعليك السلام يا ولدي ويا صاحب حوضي، قد أذنت لك. فدخل معه تحت الكساء. فما كانت إلا ساعة وإذا بولدي الحسين قد أقبل وقال: السلام عليك يا أمّا. فقلت: وعليك السلام يا ولدي ويا قرة عيني وثمرة فؤادي. فقال لي: يا أمّا إني يشم عندك رائحة طيبة كأنها رائحة جدي رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله. فقلت: نعم، إن جدك وأخاك تحت الكساء. فدنا الحسين نحو الكساء وقال: السلام عليك يا جدا، السلام عليك يا من اختاره الله، أتأذن لي أن أكون معكما تحت الكساء؟ فقال: وعليك السلام يا ولدي ويا شافع أمتي، قد أذنت لك. فدخل معهما تحت الكساء.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
فأقبل عند ذلك علي بن فأقبل عند ذلك أبا الحسن علي بن أبي طالب وقال: السلام عليك يا بنت رسول الله. فقلت: وعليك السلام يا أبا الحسن ويا أمير المؤمنين. فقال: يا فاطمة، إني يشم عندك رائحة طيبة كأنها رائحة أخي وابن عمي رسول الله. فقلت: نعم، ها هو مع ولديك تحت الكساء. فأقبل علي عليه السلام نحو الكساء وقال: السلام عليك يا رسول الله، أتأذن لي أن أكون معكم تحت الكساء؟ فقال له: وعليك السلام يا أخي ويا وصيي وخليفتي وصاحب لوائي، قد أذنت لك. فدخل علي تحت الكساء. ثم أتيت نحو الكساء وقلت: السلام عليك يا أبتاه يا رسول الله، أتأذن لي أن أكون معكم تحت الكساء؟ فقال: وعليك السلام يا ابنتي ويا بضعتي، قد أذنت لك. فدخلت تحت الكساء. فلما اكتملنا جميعا تحت الكساء، أخذ أبي رسول الله بطرفي الكساء وأومأ بيده اليمنى إلى السماء وقال: اللهم إن هؤلاء أهل بيتي وخاصتي وحامتي، لحمهم لحمي ودمهم دمي، يؤلمني ما يؤلمهم ويحزنني ما يحزنهم. أنا حرب لمن حاربهم وسلم لمن سالمهم وعدو لمن عاداهم ومحب لمن أحبهم. إنهم مني وأنا منهم، فاجعل صلواتك وبركاتك ورحمتك وغفرانك ورضوانك علي وعليهم، واذهب عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا. فقال الله عز وجل: يا ملائكتي ويا سكان سماواتي، إني ما خلقت سماء مبنية ولا أرضا مدحية ولا قمرا منيرا ولا شمسا مضيئة ولا بحرا يدور ولا فلكا يجري ولا فلكا يسري إلا في محبة هؤلاء الخمسة الذين هم تحت الكساء. فقال الأمين جبرائيل: يا رب، ومن تحت الكساء؟ فقال عز وجل: هم أهل بيت النبوة ومعدن الرسالة، هم فاطمة وأبوها وبعلها وبنوها. فقال جبرائيل: يا رب، أتأذن لي أن أهبط إلى الأرض لأكون معهم سادسا؟ فقال الله: نعم، قد أذنت لك. فهبط الأمين جبرائيل وقال: السلام عليك يا رسول الله، العلي الأعلى يقرؤك السلام ويخصك بالتحية والإكرام ويقول لك: وعزتي وجلالي إني ما خلقت سماء مبنية ولا أرضا مدحية ولا قمرا منيرا ولا شمسا مضيئة ولا فلكا يدور ولا بحرا يجري ولا فلكا يسري إلا لأجلكم، وقد أذن لي أن أدخل معكم، فهل تأذن لي يا رسول الله؟ فقال رسول الله: وعليك السلام يا أمين وحي الله، إنه نعم، قد أذنت لك. فدخل جبرائيل معنا تحت الكساء. فقال لأبي إن الله عز وجل قد أوحى إليكم ويقول إنما يريد الله ليذهب عنكم الرجس أهل البيت ويطهركم تطهيرا. فقال علي لأبي يا رسول الله أخبرني ما لجلوسنا هذا تحت الكساء من الفضل عند الله. فقال النبي والذي بعثني بالحق نبيا واصطفاني بالرسالة نجيا ما ذكر خبرنا هذا في محفل من محافل أهل الأرض وفيه جمع من شيعتنا ومحبينا إلا أن. فقال علي إذن والله فزنا وفازوا شيعتنا ورب الكعبة. فقال أبي رسول الله يا علي والذي بعثني بالحق نبيا واصطفاني بالرسالة نجيا ما ذكر خبرنا هذا في محفل من محافل أهل الأرض وفيه جمع من شيعتنا ومحبينا وفيهم مهموم إلا فرج الله همه ولا مغموم إلا كشف الله غمه ولا طالب حاجة إلا قضى الله حاجته. فقال علي إذن والله فزنا وسعدنا وكذلك شيعتنا فازوا وسعدوا في الدنيا والآخرة ورب الكعبة. To our Imam of this time, Imam Al-Mahdi Ajjalallahu Farajah. Our patience slowly getting shattered, every day just waiting for you. O Imam of this time, believe me that this is also true. It's hard enough to watch our religion getting destroyed by these people we have to always try to avoid. Where is this promise we have all been waiting for? Ya Mahdi, if you come, wallah, I will be waiting at the door. Ya Imam, our appearance right now is really needed. O Mahdi, trust me that you will be undefeated. When you come to our globe, the difference you will make is unpredictable. Ya Imam Mahdi, to us you are jurisdictional. I regard that I could see you if it wasn't for the commission of all my sins. I bet if you add them up, they would be like the treasures of all the kings. Even though I'm certain that you always forgive me and make my sins vanish, I still know that for the sins us humans are famished. Imam, what I'm about to say are not compliments, but honestly they are all facts. Ya Mahdi, you are forgiving, caring, authoritative and loving, but one thing, these are by no means any acts. When it comes to describing my love for you, I become speechless and motionless, because truth is there are no words in this whole universe to describe how I feel. When it comes, I know it's not much, but please accept this gift from me, because in the end we will all die in the seconds of 1, 2, 3. Sallallahu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
فضل في البيت صلى على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل. Second salawat for the love of Imam Al-Hassan and Al-Hussein. Third salawat for the love of Fatima al-Zahra. My dear sisters and brothers, my children, if there is any questions about the lecture of the Dr. Naqvi, inshallah, if you have any question, just ask him after the speech, okay? Therefore, if you have any things about Ashura, about Imam Al-Hussein, about whatever you have things related to this occasion, you will be able to ask the question after the finish the majlis, inshallah. Sallu ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad.
Say salawat Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli. For the security and the safety of all Mu'min brothers in all parts of the world, especially in Syria, in Afghanistan, in Lebanon, in Palestine, and of course in Iraq. Almighty Allah keep protecting them from all bad evils. Say salawat loudly for their long life and prosperity. So, don't worry, my voice definitely will come, inshallah. Right? So, because these are the days of the continuous majalis, so that's why. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم سبحان الله والحمد لله ولا إله والله أكبر. Say salawat Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. صلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم وآله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين وأمير المؤمنين وإمام المتقين وسيدة النساء العالمين والحسن الحسين السيدي شباب أهل الجنة ولعنة الله أعدائهم أجمعين. أما بعد فقد قال الله تعالى وتبارك في كلام المجيد والفرقان الحميد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. From this holy book, specially pointed out for you guys, chapter number 3, verse number 160. And when you open it, and I am just reciting in front of you, so at least you got a reference, proper reference. Okay. Verse number 160, chapter, the children of Imran or Ali Imran, and verse number is 160. Very popular verse. I especially selected when I asked the doctor who will be the audience. They said mostly the children will be the audience. Okay. And it is my privilege to be once again as a servant of you in this special occasion where we all are here to commemorate the Arba'een. What is the significance of Arba'een? Before that, I go into a little bit discussion. Let's start with the verse. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. This 160. وَلَا تَحْسَبَنَّ الَّذِينَ قُتِلُوا فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ أَمْوَاتًا بَلْ أَحْيَاءٌ عِنْدَ رَبِّهِمْ يُرْزَقُونَ. Last time when I came, some people and some children especially, I was so happy when I was going back. I was reflecting upon, did I justice to my job today? Was there any message for the youngsters, for my daughters, for my sisters, for my those friends who are parents or those who are grandparents. I honestly realized I couldn't make the justice because the topic was huge and the questions were a lot. But there was some kind of a satisfaction was there in my heart. What? At least the questions were put in and the answers were given for the further clarification. According to this verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, do not say those who have given their lives for the sake of Allah, do not even think they are dead. They keep getting sustenance from Almighty Allah directly, but you don't know about them. So when somebody asks you a question, you particularly the Shiite Muslims, and there may be some my Sunni Muslim brothers as well, why particularly the followers of Ahlul Bayt, they believe in this philosophy that those who got martyred in the event of Karbala, they all are alive and they're still getting, means yurzikun, what? They're getting sustenance from Allah. They're getting bread and butter. Physically, there is a one meaning. Philosophically, there is another meaning. But according to the Quranic anatomy, the meaning is absolutely different. So my today's job is to present three different meanings because this time the media is bombarding on you. If you see all over the world, like you are the youngsters, I'm sure your parents will be telling, why elders are so engaged in listening news channels. One was just like you. I was sitting with my parents, right? And my parents always switch on the TV towards news. And I was watching my favorite cartoon. So, Dad, what are you doing? Please. This is my entertainment. Now I realized my parents were right. If you do not live with the time will kill you. In order to be in time, you need to be on time. See the prepositional phrase. If you want to be in time, you need to be on time. On time means what? You must know what is happening around yourself. And that is why your first Imam said, a person does not bring ignorance to his society. Person catches ignorance from the society. So how can you catch the ignorance? Number one, if you do not do your job properly, if you are not organized, and the third thing is that if you're not committed to your moral values. My daughters are here, and definitely there will be something here. Meaning number one of this verse is what? According to the anatomy of Quran, is that the spirits or the souls who are being sent into the different bodies, they are getting sustenance continuously from Allah, and we cannot see those souls and spirits. So the soul of Imam Hussein and his companions and his brothers and his children who met the martyrdom in the event of Karbala, they are very close to Almighty Allah. This is a one version. My Sunni brothers, why don't they commemorate as we do commemorate? What is the significant difference between us and them? The only difference is ignorance. They sit in that society where they catch the ignorance which is illogical. You are lucky, you're blessed. You come in those centers which you get the knowledge and information which is quite logical and reasoning. And this is the way you need to brought up yourself. Some of you are in year 6, some of you are in year 7, 10, 9, 11, some of you are in the colleges. In educational system, we got 4 parallel paradigms. Number 1, primary. Number 2, secondary. Number 3, further education. Number 4, higher education. So these are 4 paradigms. Those people who are in primary level, the primary level, all children, according to the book of Ahlul Bayt, they are declared as innocent. As the children enters into secondary, they're responsible for their deeds or action. And that is the age where we need to understand now. Why? Some of you might be asking, doctor, fair enough, why are we saying this thing? Because in Karbala, these characters were there. What? Infant was there. Primary level age children were there. Secondary level children were there. Further education level youth was there. And the higher education level means adult were also there. So that is why Karbala is known as a complete university, where you can find at the same time primary level syllabus, secondary level syllabus. Okay, so you can write down the question after the speech, or we should get. Okay. So in Karbala, we got a primary level, we got secondary level, we got further education, we got higher education. Example. Let's see the example. My salute to those mothers and those daughters. Those mothers especially who bring their children in the center. My salute to those members of the administration and management who are doing day and night by keeping their energies for the sake of the propagation of real Islam. And inshallah, in the court of the 12th Imam, your all services will be accepted. This is my firm belief, and we also pray on the same time as well. Now, for you, those ladies, those my daughters who are just newly married, maybe 4 months back, and some are going to be married after 2 months in the Rabiul Awwal, especially the month of happiness. For them, what the lesson is there for them? Because there are 2 characters in there in Karbala, and we equally divide those one. Unfortunately, these are the manifold parts of Arba'een which we do not talk about. Maybe due to less time, continuity with the lectures, but my style is slightly different. I bring those pages which are under the dust, nobody has touched it, or people are least interested in order to touch them. Okay. Number 1, particularly from the daughter's point of view, right? If you see the characters of the legacy of Sayyida Zainab, Sayyida Kulthum, Sayyida Ruqayya, and then there is a list of the different ladies who came in the house of Ahlul Bayt. How Sayyida Zainab and her sisters trained, supported, and respected those ladies who came outside from the family. This is the lesson number 1. How can we forget this one? The reason is we are living in a dogmatic society. The society which has many materialistic points to be considered. Father is not able to speak to daughter due to many realm of affairs. Daughters are not able to speak fathers due to many stages of misunderstanding. So how daughters will learn? Only the mothers? Now, think about for a second, if mother is not educated, what will happen? So the daughter will be seeking information from the colleges or from the schools, regardless whether the information is correct or incorrect. So that is the stage which your Ahlul Bayt Institute plays a significant role. It has unparalleled respect in your mind to keep you moving towards the path of Ahlul Bayt. 2 ladies which I have selected from the Karbala, even from the Arba'een. Number 1 is a 6 years or 4 years or 5 years or 7 years, a child which is called Sukena. See the whole tragedy from Medina to Karbala and Karbala to Syria, in Damascus. When I find and examine the characteristics of that young lady in Karbala, she has even crossed the limits of those who were not able to stand by with that young lady in terms of what? Commitment to the cause of Allah. At the age of 6, she was doing even the prayers of the midnight, even the saddle of camel. Number 2, she was continuously getting lessons of Quran with the prayer of tahajjud from mothers and from elder sisters. Number 3, she was quite patient and she was thankful to Almighty Allah. She never complained. Apart from what? When you are bound to say, to show what justice is and what injustice is. This is one character. Character number 2, 2 young ladies. And those young ladies were what? You have heard Imam Zainul Abidin, Ali ibn al-Hussein, the name of your 4th Imam. When he born, his mother left with very, very early stage. She died. So he was brought up under the guidance of Sayyidah Zainab. And that's what mothers should read the life of Sayyidah Zainab. It's not only that you should be graduate from the school, from the university, and you're doing a good job. See, all thorns, all difficulties prepare you for the life of the next stage. That is the lesson number 2. According to the verse which we did recite it, now the meaning number 3. How can we understand that a soul is getting a rizq from Allah? Excellent question. Many Sunni brothers, they attack on Shias, but they do not understand this one. Why? You need to keep listening them. This stage in this world at the moment is quite dangerous in terms of information level. I was reading the parliamentary system of Iraq and Lebanon. I came to know it, particularly those who were the elders. The inconsistency in the political system were the cause or the fruit of the seeds which were sowed, what? In the period of Al-Muawiyah. And we are still not 100% Islamic state. Even we are in majority of Shia's lands. One example. Imam Ali ﷺ said to the companions, O Ammar, if you have to select something which is the best, and on one side something is the best, so which the best you will select? And Hazrat Ammar Yasser kept quiet. And he was thinking, the question was quite dubious. Okay? The encompassing meaning of the question is quite daunting. It was not easy to understand. So then Ammar requested Mawla, this question is above than my knowledge. And you know what your Imam replied? Imam replied, if you are on the path of Allah, so you have everything. And if you're not on the path of Allah, you will have not everything. Means on both sides is the best. You as the youngster, what you can learn from the children of Hazrat Muslim bin Aqil. And you might have heard the stories as well. Okay. So going back onto the soul, right? On the day of the judgment, everybody will be called upon from the cemetery with the name of their imams. So if the body is not able to listen, so why the voice will be there? That's one of the evidence of understanding. Remember, only Islam is not there who believes in the day of the judgment. 39 religions are there in the world who believe that yes, the day of the judgment will appear. But over 5th Imam said, every day is the day of the judgment for a moment. Allahu Akbar. Allah. Every day is the day of the judgment for a moment. And some people ask a question, oh Mawla, why? Why every day is the judgment? Well, I said, every day you meet the death, and every dawn you meet the life. When you sleep, you go into the valley of soul's journey. And that is the answer of third meaning. When you get up in the early morning, you get up in the life and your body is taking control over your soul. And that's what is the understanding of yurzikun, how your soul is taking a risk. From the professor of the medicine, I'm sure there's a medicine school as well, if I'm not wrong. Is that true? Yeah, I think one of the number 25 is in the world at the moment now. Okay. University College of London, the medicine school, Professor John Callan, and his book, The Principle of Understanding Human Brain. And from there, he has identified what? In the night when a person sleeps, his physical anatomy go into flexible stages. Means your brain, your physical parts, they keep developing in the night, but not on the day. And that is another good reason of understanding. When you're sleeping, you don't know that your body is stretching, your soul is traveling, you're in a dream somewhere. But how important it is for us to understand that your soul is still taking a risk from Allah. Your heart is what? Your heart is beating according to the systematic approach of Allah. You have heard many people who slept, but they couldn't get up in the morning. So that's why Imam said, if you want to understand the yurzikun, you need to understand what? See simplicity about yourself. When you sleep, you don't know where you're sleeping. And when you get up, you're trying to take control over your body. The lesson from this verse for us as parents and elder is, think about when your second Imam said, read every namaz that it may be the last namaz of your life. Plan your namaz, it may be the last namaz of your life. Make dua, it may be the last dua for your life. It does not mean that you should not ask for long life from Almighty Allah and good risk, good bread and butter. No. The message is, moment is always like a soldier. And soldier needs to be prepared always, all the times, in all battlefields. This is the part of the lecture, and the second part only for the few words of the Masa'ib, and then we will have the question answer. Why Arba'een is so important? What happened on Arba'een? And why do we commemorate? Long walk, Najaf to Karbala. What is the significance of that walk? All over the world, people are commemorating this sacrifice from a different perspective in different cultures. What is the importance of that? Great philosopher, Iqbal, who did PhD from Germany, one of the philosophers of the East world, and the co-founder of Pakistan, Dr. Allama Muhammad Iqbal, in his own book, The Philosophy of Tragedy, It was his research paper in Germany, in the University of Munich. In chapter number 18, in that research work, he brought one idea at that time in early 1932. He said, I didn't know the Karbala is in every human being's heart. But we, yes, know Yazidis are everywhere in every part of the world. In order to find Karbala in your heart, you need to what? You need to explore yourself according to the justice. Regardless, you're Muslim, you're Shia, you're Sunni, you're Wahhabi, you're Christian, you're Jew. If the justice is there inside, you are almost there to explore why tragedy of Karbala is very close to you. Tragedy of Karbala is not only the ownership of Shia. When I was looking for the research, how many people have research on Karbala, 349 scholars all over the world, they have written 50,000 papers about Karbala. Only on Karbala. Now the world is realizing which real Islam is there. When people, the Yazid army, they kept the Ahl Bayt, they were taking them towards Syria. The time came as the caravan of Ahl Bayt entered into Damascus city, a young boy, 7 to 8 years old, he came near to caravan and asked, from which city you are? And the boy who was talking to them happened to be your fifth Imam, Imam Baqir alayhi salam. And that boy inquired, your linguistic style is from Medina. Are you from Medina? Imam Baqir did not reply. Imam turned face onto the next side. The boy came from other side and asked, your phonic style is very, very good. You don't look like prisoner. What you did it? Then Imam replied, oh, the son of Habib ibn Mazahir. Look at this 7 years old boy, Imam, and he's talking to another boy. Oh, the son of Habib ibn Mazahir. Who Habib ibn Mazahir? The boy got stunned. How do you know the name of my father? Imam Baqir replied, we are the family of the Holy Prophet. Oh, and started screaming. As the tulips came out from his eyes, he ran towards the elder person who was in a caravan. His hands were cuffed. And he asked one question, are you the leader of this caravan? And it was your fourth Imam. Imam Ali ibn al-Hussein. Yes, perhaps not. I am not the leader of this caravan. The leader of the caravan is of this lady. This lady is the leader of the caravan. Her hands are cupped. His forehead is bleeding. And there are soldiers are putting lashes on her back and on your back. Are you the leader? That your fourth Imam said, Assalamu alayka. Oh, the son of Habib ibn Mazahir. As Imam said these words, that boy touched the feet of Imam Ali ibn Hussein. Have you seen my father? The boy asked, have you seen my father? Imam Ali Zainul Abidin ﷺ replied with the two words, yes, I've seen your father. He was one of the bravest person in Karbala. He was killed along with my father. He is a shaheed as well, and you are a son of shaheed. After that, boy turned, ran towards his house. As he entered into the house, he replied to, oh mother, have you got some shawls? I've seen some ladies, they are without parda, they are without shawls. And they're saying they are from Karbala, they are from Medina. This is a lesson for my daughters and sisters. Take care about your parda. The price of your parda is very, very high. Sayyida Zainab along with her sister, they all were without parda. The mother of that boy came with some shawls, and they were giving to the shawls Sayyida Zainab, Kulthum and Ruqayya. As the mother leaned forward, she saw the face of Sayyida Zainab, and she cried and screamed out, your voice looks like Sayyida Zainab. Are you the sister of Imam Hussein? When Sayyida Zainab replied this one, the boy's name was Qasim. Qasim's mother sat down in that particular bazaar, in that particular market. Now, what is the lesson for today? We are in the land where there is no Islam. Last few words only. You, my daughters, when you go to universities, do only two things. Number one, try to keep your soul's hijab intact all the time. Try to keep the hijab of your body intact. Be modest, whatever you can do it. Do not let yourself go away. Do not let yourself slip away from the path of modesty. And this is the message why we are here, because through you the next world will be built up. And the youngsters, if you're not justifying, you're saying Ya Hussein, but if you're not studying properly in your school and colleges, you need to be the soldier of that one as well. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. If you got any other questions, so please. Yes, Matt, you got a question.
So there's something about death. We don't completely die. If we do something bad, we go to hell, which is underground. But if we do something good, we go to heaven. But if we do both, like good and bad, and we don't know which way to go, which path that we should take.
Very good question. MashaAllah, very good question, right. And this shows that you're a human being. Sometimes we do bad things, sometimes we do good things. But being as a good human being, you need to try to avoid of doing bad things. And if you keep trying to avoid from bad things, it means you're becoming a follower of Ahlul Bayt. And that way will be leading you towards heaven, not hell. Example, do you love football? You love football? Who's your favorite player? Oh, so you don't love football, yeah?
I do love football, but I don't really usually play. I do play football, but I never watched the football game.
Okay, so you know the names of like Luis Suarez? Is a footballer? No? Okay, Rooney. Wayne Rooney. Okay. Do you know any footballer's name? Okay. Why I was asking the question? Because the footballers do not born. They work hard. They get trained. They follow the rules. They follow the regulations. So they become good football. And once they become good footballer, they're being given to the top class coaches. So they train them. This is the same way. The human life is what? Who are your coaches? Who are your guides? This is your coaching center. You come here, you get purify your soul, and you try to avoid from bad doing which you can do outside. And this is what? You keep doing it. And one day, make sure yourself that you're not getting indulged into the bad things. Okay. Anybody else? Yes? What's that? Please, can you loudly? Okay, good question. The people who fought with Imam Hussain were the Shia or not? The people who fought against Imam Hussain were Shia or not? Okay. Now, first of all, there is no harm of accepting it. Yes, those people who were with Imam Hussain, they were the Shias. There were only two groups at that time. Okay? The Shia of Usman's, later on they got divided. The Shia of Muawiyah, right? And the Shia of Ali ibn Abi Talib. The Shia of Ali ibn Abi Talib, they got divided into further four groups as well. Only one group stayed with Imam Hussain. In this world, not all Shia will go in heaven. Okay. According to your seventh Imam, 13 to 19 groups of the Shia will be there in the world at the time of the judgment of Imam. Only one will go into heaven. So don't be safe. Feel proud about being Shia. Feel only proud when you are Shia of Ahlul Bayt, not Shia of yourself. Okay. Anybody else? My daughter got a question, sir, doctor? Yeah, please. Good. This is one of the most popular questions on the social media as well. And many mothers and daughters. The question is that why Imam Hussain took ladies and the children with him while he knew it that this tragedy will happen. Okay. According to Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal's school of thought, that this was a suicide. I'm being very blunt on the pulpit. According to my other Ahl Sunnah, that the Shia did understand wrongly Imam Hussain. It's not. Okay? There are plenty of examples out there in the Quran when many prophets took their children with them for the purpose of jihad. Ladies and children. The significance or the eloquence of this question is the two part. Number one, why ladies? Remember, from 124,000, every prophet is a male prophet. There is no female prophet. Imam Hussain could have won the battle of Karbala without ladies. But one part of the ladies for the future mothers, for the future daughters would have remained barren. And that's why the role of the ladies in Karbala, it has its own importance. And Imam knew it. Without these family members, the tragedy of Karbala would have not been accomplished. The reason, before that, if we go, what? When Prophet ﷺ went against Christians for the sake of the glory and the fixation of his last prophethood, Many people forgot that event. Many Muslims forgot that event of the Vilayat of Amirul Mu'mineen. And if you see in that Hajj, only few ladies were there with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and those ladies were the family members of the companions. And those companions were having personal grudge against Ali the Great. And they were not telling their children what did they hear from there. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Man kuntu mawlahu fahaza aliyum. By the time of 50 years, everybody forgot it. Imam Hussain did it properly with a purpose. This time, the tragedy of the Karbala, my jihad, will cover each part, each circle, each sphere of the life. So nobody can say there wasn't any woman, there wasn't any children, there wasn't anybody. From each angle, whosoever is coming to learn the Karbala, the character is there. For ladies, the ladies' character is there. For the children character is there. For elder, the elder character is there. The reason was very open to save Islam. As Sayyidah Fatima went with Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, with Ali the Great, with Hassan alayhi salam as well, in order to get the acceptance of the last messenger's prophethood. And that even took place against the Christians. So Imam Hussain's, that is one of the reasons. Second reason is that, remember, whenever you go for the moral values, whenever you try to find this one, that you are there for the security or the safety of a religion, religion cannot be completed without the contribution of a woman. And that is why you have 7 infallible women in the history of mankind. Though they were not prophet, but they have contributed a lot. That was the reason for that. Another question?
Yeah, when did Imam Hussein die?
When?
What year did Imam Hussein die?
Oh, okay. In Islamic history, we got a calendar of migration periods. Okay, but in the era which you're living is the calendar of Hazrat Isa alayhi wasalam, which is called like what? Catholic calendar. So the difference between that one and this one is what? 1300s. Okay. Anybody else? On the top of the ice for the question of this history is there. My Mother is My Hero. That's a book for you. You read it. My Mother is My Hero. And somebody has written, the name is Fitzgerald. And that person has written that what I learned from my mother, I was not able to learn from my father. When I put this sentence, I went back onto the teachings of Imam Ali, how to raise a children in the non-Islamic state. That's one of the khutbahs there. I read it properly, then I translated it, and I used this one when I was training to the doctors in Newham University Hospital. Okay. One sentence I did use it, right, what? Imam said, every child is a copy of 79% of mother. 79%. Example, in order to prove what I said and what Imam said, in Ziyarat Ashura, when you come down and you do surrendering, you say Lana, O Ibn Marjana. Ibn Marjana. Marjana is the name of a woman. And I'm sure you just did Amal. And you know it. Son of Marjana. And that particular person, you'll be amazed to know it. Marjana's son. That son remained in some part of the teachings with the Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam as well. Imam did not say the word about his father, but about his mother, because that mother's character was dubious. He was with Imam Ali the Great, that particular person. And later on, you can see, he became one of the killers of Imam Hussein. So this shows you the picture that be constantly and consistently open your eyes. What are you doing? What are you not doing properly? Any other question? Can I leave one question for you guys when I come next time and I ask you the question? Is a good way, sir? One question for daughters and one question for youngsters. MashaAllah, you are coming on every Thursday and you have madrasa as well. Okay. You're blessed that you got a person around yourself who are PhD from here in different areas. They know the schooling, they know the education. Okay. You know the tennis star Rafael Nadal? Tennis star Rafael Nadal? No? Okay. It means you watch a lot of videos. You don't watch the news. Okay. Rafael Nadal was 5 years old and he fought against 10 years old tennis star. 5 years old, at 5 years. When I was reading his biography, I came to realize he was so focused and committed, I wanted to be a tennis star. Whereas his great uncle was a golden player, lovely footballer, a star. You must know that where you are heading in your life. Have some counseling session as the doctor is here. Okay. Focus it. And that is one of the objectives of Arba'een. Imam said, if you are focused in your life, you will find the objective of your life. If you're not focused in your life, you will not get objective of your life. And moment is bound to follow the objectivity of life. Otherwise, you may be a Shia, but you may not be a Mu'min. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm happy again. If you got any question, please feel free. This is actually my style of doing majlis. I'm not like a traditional style of person. I'm more happy if you ask me the question. Okay. So focus mean what? If you're good in humanities, follow humanities. If you're good in science, follow in science. Okay. Thank you. Anybody else who's just studying in college in A levels, from my daughters and from others, and they're a little bit confused about that. Apart from this job, I sit in University of London's counseling session as an expert as well. So get advantage of my presence now. Okay? If you're confused about the selection of the A-level subjects, if you're confused about what to do, what not to do, don't get confused while exploring the social media. Sit with those people, ask those people who have done better than you. Always seek guidance for those who are superior in the subject, not who are well informed. It doesn't mean that somebody is well informed can guide you properly. Your Imam said, Imam's statement, don't follow those who are well informed. Follow those who are experienced in information. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Say Muhammad wa ali Muhammad, loud salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad Holy Muhammad. Sorry, I could have given you more time. I have 2 more programs. Okay, so if you have a question now, you can ask me. I will not be staying more. I can stay for your question, but I will be running away. No question now? No. From daughters, further question for A level, university, joining program, any guidance, something like that? Next time. Should be. From my own side, doctor, I would like to see between 11 to 18. Okay. Any topic from faith, any topic from book, from hadith, from compilation, from the life of Ahlul Bayt, and with contemporary sciences in this world, and with CPD point of view. For example, sir, I want to do this one. Like many daughters who want to study science, because medicine, okay, very close. But there are plenty of routes going into medicine. We know only 2. Okay. Plenty of routes are there. For example, some of you are very good in mathematics. Highly qualified chartered accountant is sitting in front of you. Do you know this thing? How to get a guidance from him? But I can tell you here, right, if you're good in maths in A level, okay, you don't need to be superstar. Good English with maths, okay. Follow the 7 big companies, get registered with them, do just like a UK style. Right from the 2nd week, you'll be paid salary plus accountancy you're studying. And in 4 years, you'll be chartered accountant. And in 4 years, you'll have your 2 mortgages in your pocket. And if economically and financially you're strong, we are strong. If you're not strong, we are not strong. There are many meanings of majlis. And one of the strongest meaning is economics, which unfortunately we don't touch it. Take care. Allah Hafiz. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. Inshallah.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. الثاني على محبة الحسن والحسين. الثالث على محبة قائم آل محمد بأعلى أصواتكم. يا حسين ومصاب يا تعرفوني شفيع لكم تزوروني أعاهدكم تعرفوني شفيع لكم أساميكم وأسجلها أساميكم هلا بكم يا زوار هلا بكم تزوروني وحق جف الكفي الوجود والراية، أنا وعباس وياكم يا مشاية، يا من بعتوا النفوس وجيتوا شراية، علي واجب أوفيكم يا وفاية، علي واجب أوفيكم يا وفاية، تواسيني شعايركم، ترويني مدامعكم، أواسيكم أنا وجرحي أواسيكم، هلا بكم يا زوار، هلا بكم، تزوروني تزوروني أعاهدكم، تعرفوني شفيع لكم، أساميكم أسجلها أساميكم، هلا بكم يا زوار، هلا بكم، تزوروني، هلا يا المانسي توعى الوعد تحضر، هلا يا المانسي توعى الوعد تحضر، اجيت ولا يهمك لا برد لا حار، اجيت ولا يهمك لا برد لا حار، وحق دمع العقيلة وطبرة الأكبار، وحق دمع العقيل طبرة الأكبار، أحضرك ما أعوفك ساعة المحشر، أحضرك ما أعوفك ساعة المحشر، على الموعد أجي يمكم ولا أبعد وأعوف عنكم، محاميكم وحق حيدر محاميكم، هلا بكم يا زوار، هلا بكم، أساميكم أسجلها أساميكم، هلا بكم يا زواري، أهلا بكم. الطم ويا عيد، بارك الله مأجورين. We are the Shia of Ali, we are the Shia of Ali, Ya Ali, Ya Ali, Ya Ali, Ya Ali, we are the Shia of Ali, we are the Shia, Ya Ali, Ya Ali, Ya Ali, Ya Ali. We know that we will face torture and pain, but that will never stop us from calling your name. We'll hold your flag up high as it touches the sky, holding tight to the rope hope we fight. With your strength in our sight, we will never fall. We are the Shia of Ali, we are the Shia of Ali, Ya Ali, Ya Ali, Ya Ali, Ya علي. اللهم بعلي أمير المؤمنين وبفاطمة الزهراء سيدة نساء العالمين وبالحسن والحسين يا الله. اللهم كن لوليك الحجة ابن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا برحمتك ورأفتك يا أرحم الراحمين. وإلى أرواح المؤمنين والمؤمنات المسلمين والمسلمات وبالخصوص شيعة أمير المؤمنين نهديهم ثواب صورة المباركة الفاتحة تسبقها الصلاة على محمد وآل محمد.